coming and attending this small workshop, let's say. This is our 12th workshop here in Kigali. And this idea came from Mr. Emmanuel. He said that we didn't do anything relevant to leaders, even though most of our lectures they were about leaders and so on, but specifically leaders in a position of head of department, supervisors, managers, and above. I would like to ask guys who are talking the telephone, they talk outside so that they don't disrupt others. So I wait. There is rules and regulation here that anyone wants to answer any telephone, please you can go outside. Okay. Yeah. So this workshop is, as I said, is about leadership for socio-economic transformation. One of the most challenging things for leaders is really to have three-dimensional thinking, which means it is not vertical thinking, it's not horizontal thinking. Do you know the difference between this type of thinking? Okay, so we have what we call, okay, vertical thinking. We have horizontal thinking, okay. Horizontal thinking is the multidisciplinary thinking, I call it. Okay. Yes, I'm getting noise from the library. Okay, the vertical thinking is about your specialty. So if you are a supervisor, for example, in immigration, or supervisor in an NGO, or a head of manager of an NGO or something, mostly it is about your specialty. So for example, if you are working for youth, or you are working for children, or you are working for women, or working with people with disabilities, okay? Your thinking is always about this area, okay? And usually, in this type of vertical thinking, we call it this type of organization, we call it professional bureaucrat organization. Means that the professional, the more he's a senior expert, he will be the head of the department. Example, in the Ministry of Education, mostly you'll find people that they are coming from teaching, right? In Ministry of Health, you'll find people that are coming from medicine or healthcare or nursing, okay? So this is called vertical thinking way of organization or leaders. And there is horizontal thinking, which is very rare in our developing countries. I come from Bahrain, and mostly we are called, all of us, called developing countries. We don't have this type of thinking, unfortunately. And I use this type of thinking to solve problems. Okay, because this is multidisciplinary. It means I not only see the things from the perspective of these professionals, I see it as a process. The process, for example, in healthcare, it will go through, for example, it will go to emergency, then it will go to lab, then it will go to X-ray, then it go. So I see the whole process. I become like the customer. Okay? So I look for customer, not customer satisfaction, customer delight. Okay? And this is where we call it the leaders who will do the horizontal thinking. Unfortunately, we don't have this. Today is not our topic about this. I'll talk about something maybe, unfortunately, maybe more advanced. Okay? And we should talk about this frankly, and we have many books about that, many papers about that, many lectures about that. But what I'm talking about, it is the third one, okay? So it is not horizontal, it is what we call, as I told you, it is the three-dimensional thinking, okay? And this is highly needed, especially if you're going to solve complex problems. Because a leader is not about position, right? When we talk about leadership, it is what? It's a character. So you might have, for example, a normal person, maybe he's even not supervisor, but he's the real leader. He does the connection with the people. He do the main two things for any organization. Any organization can succeed and fail for mainly two things. Okay? It have to be healthy and it have to be profitable. Even a family. Okay? Even see us everywhere, and we talk always about this. It has to be healthy and it has to be profitable. Healthy means that it has a proper communication. And this is the role of the leader. Okay? Profitable means it manages its cash flow, it manages resources. So always, let's remember this, because this is all the things that when you take the exercise, hopefully, this is a small workshop, It have to be healthy and profitable, as I said. Healthy means what I said?
Resources.
Communication. Yeah, okay. Healthy means that you are building a communication model within the organization. Profitable means it is about cash flow or it is about management of resources. Okay. These are very important for any leadership. Okay. Three-dimensional thinking, why we need it? Why I'm talking about three-dimensional thinking? Even though we did something about thinking before in workshop, and I will not talk about thinking in detail. I advise you to go and see our books, our library, and visit our library. We have one of the books called Sociology of Inspiring Life. Sociology of Inspiring Life. How people who can inspire their community, their society, the world, okay, they need to think and utilize their physiology, because God has given us our character different than the animals, and it depends on us how we utilize our capacity. Okay. Unfortunately, we come as a leader, especially those leaders, which is here, they always think about the formula of the capital-based economy. What is the capital-based economy formula? Supply versus demand, right? But these type of leaders, which is the horizontal and the three-dimensional, they think about different formula. They say, no, it's not supply versus demand, it's about capacity versus demand. So we are trying to raise the capacity within ourselves, not asking others to help us, and this is one of our problems in our communities. And we are always asking other people to help us. Okay, so this is very important for again this type of thinking. When we utilize this type of thinking, we can't apply this formula. Otherwise, we did not reach this type of thinking. Okay. Now this will go into detail. It's not a theory. I'll show you later in how we do this. And today we'll put more of examples because it's a small. Give me a blue pen. So today, hopefully, we're going to talk about more detail. And the idea of this workshop is this also to introduce to you our academic program. Our academic programs is for master and PhD. So far we did not get accredited. We're waiting for the next. Unfortunately, I think the right time. But hopefully we're going to start with PhD in Inspiration Economy and Master in Inspiration Economy. And then we're going to do also Master in Resilience Economy once we are accredited. And these are all, as you can see, most of these programs is not available all over the world. Okay, so this is unique program for us in CIAS. Because we have done many expertise around the world, we developed these programs and we tested these programs around the world, including we're going to reach to very important program later after maybe a few years, poverty elimination and women development. Not women empowerment for women, okay? Women development, which is totally different than women empowerment. We are available in 38 countries as the NOCIAS, as the International Inspiration Economy Project, which is one of our other institutes called the Inspiration Economy Institute, Institute for Inspiration Economy. IIE means Institute of Inspiration Economy. So for this 12th workshop, with me of course Dr. Emmanuel, we want to introduce for you first the characteristics that is needed in any leader in order to be capable, let's say, have the capacity to do the minimum socio-economic transformation. When we talk about socio-economic, also I need to clarify here, and later I'll talk more about details after he takes his part. We are talking about complex problem, as I said. Why we need three-dimensional thinking or horizontal thinking? Because it's complex problem. Complex problem means, what means complex problem, anybody? We have complex and we have chronic problems. Anybody, any difference? Okay, maybe this is about time that I don't know if you have introduced yourself to Dr. Emmanuel or not, but let me have the chance to know you guys so that I talk more in detail, applied examples. Okay, so brother, can you introduce yourself?
Okay, thank you, sir. My name is Fred Utendesa from Ministry of Local Government.
Ministry of?
Local Government.
Local Government, okay. Fred, the first name.
Jean-Pierre Nilpeyeka. I'm from the Ministry of Local Government.
Hello, same. Okay. Pierre, I call you Pierre, huh? Yes, ma'am. You are University of Rwanda? Ah, okay, okay. You are teaching or you are a staff? Student, okay, welcome.
Yeah, I am Alex Ngabe. I am Executive Director of Ola Organization. Ola Organization.
NGO? Okay. Yes, sir.
My name is Benny, the platform Rwanda Social Security
Rwanda?
Social Security.
Okay, welcome. Okay. Social security is same as like the American one. I mean, like for the number, for the IDs, you check also the social development.
Insurance.
Some retirement, insurance,
Okay.
disability.
Okay. Same as the American one.
My name is Jacques Singer from Rwanda.
From?
Migration.
Migration. Okay. You guys are giving us hard time? Allah, for us, forever. Okay, you introduce yourself.
Not.
Okay. No, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Dr. Emmanuel Mshimwana. Yes, I'm from the University of Rwanda and also here because I'm a leader here as a consultant. I'm in the faculty.
From?
Films.
This is NGO?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Regine Chiliba. I'm from Television Organization.
From?
Television.
Okay, so it's an NGO also.
Social enterprise.
Social enterprise, okay. Social for profit, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to sit down with you. And you are doing that also. Yes, ma'am.
Hafsa Nyazigawa. I'm from Television.
From the same? Okay, yes, ma'am.
I'm from Lapele Rwanda Organization.
From?
Lapele Rwanda Organization.
Okay. It's an NGO also? Okay.
My name is Shini from
From?
There's Leaders Forum.
Okay, so it's again NGO?
Organization.
Again, can you raise this? Do you know what? What's leaders organization called?
There's Leaders Forum.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, third one?
Hi everyone, I'm the Silva of the CS team leader.
Isa?
Hi,
Isa?
it's my second time of introducing myself.
I introduce it. Okay.
My name is Isa. I am yes, library team leader. Thank you.
It's important, for example, for any leader. So now I can see we are a collection of, let's say, three types. We have the government, which is the most important players, of course, and also the NGO, and the private sector, which is all social for profit. We have some people, which is again they are semi-private, NGO. Most of you, I think, will be concerned for complex problems. Okay, and maybe you claim, or all of us we claim, we're trying to solve or eliminate complex problem. Okay, but we can't eliminate complex problem unless we have the three-dimensional thinking. Okay, means that we have more than we see the thing from different perspective. Okay, so for example, let's say you are about solving problems relevant to poverty. Okay, which is the most complex problem in the world today, especially, and it is persistent where in this region. Maybe okay, Rwanda is less compared to other sister, East African community or sub-Saharan, but still it is there.
Sure.
Okay, so how we face the poverty? Is it about education? Is it about healthcare? Is it about family stability? Is it about development in general? Is it about project? Is it about entrepreneurship? So there are many things. And sometimes you might be successful like Rwanda to eliminate what we call it absolute poverty in many terms, right? For that, Rwanda is one of the top countries referred to in eliminating, we are going that way. But you might have what we call relative poverty. Okay, people they're not poor, but they cannot afford to get access to internet, for example, or cannot afford to travel, or cannot afford to develop themselves. So still they are called relative poverty. We might have another persistent problem relevant to poverty, which we call it the need. We are writing a lot. Maybe you can see it in our publications and so on. Need is very important, and I have written a lot. I'm the leader in the world and the thing about needs. Need, if you want to write it down, I can remember it. That is people need stand in, okay, and always I market this in all my lectures, because this is the hidden coming poverty problem. Not absolute poverty, not relative poverty, but this is the persistent poverty problem that will come and it will hit us a lot, because it's a socio-political problem, not only socio-economic problem. Okay? Needs stand for not in education, okay? Not in education, so not in education, not in employment, okay? Not in training. How many people that you know in Rwanda, for example, that they are needs? I claim, and at least out of 10 people, always in Rwanda, there will be at least 4 people, they are not in employment, not in education, not in training. Means they finish university or finish high school, but they are not working and they are waiting for working, or they're working in a job that is not relevant to them. But they had to take the job because there is no other opportunities. Or because they did not discover, and that's not to blame the government here, they did not discover, they did not have the capacity to discover other opportunities. But again, it is the role of the NGO, the government, the private sector to build this capacity. And this is why we say it is complex problem. Okay, as you can see. So sometimes you close a fire here, complex problem means it open a fire in another place. For example, number of dropouts from schools. It's going to create another poverty, right? So you solve a problem here, you give them housing, you give them medical insurance, right? You try to create a business, but the number of dropouts is more increasing. So this is another problem, okay? So for that, complex problem means it needs to be tackled from more than 3-dimensional. We say minimum 3-dimensional, okay? So this is very important for us. Should that open the window? For air, some air. Listen, open the windows. So this is why we say it's a complex. Complexity means complex problem. We have what we call, also I told you earlier, complicated problem. Okay? Okay? Oh, sorry, a chronic problem. Okay? Chronic problem means that it will need not only, dimensional thinking, sometimes it doesn't work with that. What it needs the resources. Okay? Here vertical thinking works. And it needs time. It needs resources and it needs time. Okay? And here, most government people, successful government, they work on chronic problem. But tackling complex problem, it has to be these 3 parties together, usually. If you don't think that these 3 parties they can solve, government cannot solve a poverty themselves. Private sector cannot solve it, NGO cannot solve them themselves. They need this collaboration, okay? Chamber of Commerce, Ministry of Education, NGOs working with youth or with women. All of them, they need to collaborate to solve a specific problem in a specific village. Specific problem relevant to poverty in a specific village. And then they create a model. This is why CIAS is here. This is our goal. Now we bring models, we bring the partners together, we initiate, we give some seed funds, small seed fund, so that we create the model, and then we publish about it. Because also for us, it's a good story, that we need to create a good story. So what Dr. Emmanuel is going to talk about is about this type of leadership, and how we need a leadership that thinks about complexity, think about chronic problems. They have in mind that they cannot do it themselves, okay? And because also they need to think horizontal way. They need to see the process. They should not see only their specialty. Okay? Yani for example, we see in many developing countries they send doctors to, for example, opening a health center in a certain village. Okay? The doctor, what he will give you? The vertical thinking, as I said, no? Because they are professional bureaucrats, remember. the physician I'm talking about, you will see it only from certain perspective. Okay? But you have to bring with him nurses, you have to bring with him, admin or managing team, you have to bring with him the NGO, the village leaders, so that you can ensure the success will create a good outcome. Because leaders is about outcomes, it's not about results. Results is for managers, for supervisors, for life. But wherever you are, if you call yourself leader, it's about creating outcome. Outcome means impact. Impact means legacy. Okay? Means that the world can need to learn from this story. This is a real leadership. Okay? Because as I said, I'm not talking about a position. A minister sometimes he will work as a supervisor or manager. We'll have a minister of any department or ministry, but he will look, his mind is about checking on his people, are they coming, are they attending, are they doing the paperwork, okay? This is a job of supervisor or actually, you don't need always people to attend physically, unless your process is relevant to that. We need that attendance at a relevant time. Okay? So I leave the floor for Dr. Emmanuel to talk about his part and then we'll continue. Thank you. Yes, yeah, this one.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Buheji, for introduction. Yeah, yes, and I'm glad we have different people from RISSB, from local government, from Migration Academy, from different corners. Maybe there are some other who came a bit late. Can they introduce themselves quickly? Yeah? And we shall maybe mix that a bit Kinyarwanda, because I think many people speak Kinyarwanda as well. So don't worry about it, you should share. Yes, yeah. People who came a little bit late, can you introduce yourself? Yes.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Vincent from the Migration Academy.
Okay, thank you. And others? Others from what? Okay.
Good morning, my name is Matthew. Matthew.
Matthew.
Yeah, from South Sudan.
From South Sudan. Very nice. Yeah. And you are also studying at African Leadership Academy.
I studied here. I'm done.
Yes, sir. Ah, okay. There are other students we used to invite from South Sudan who study leadership in African Leadership Academy. Sometimes it's very necessary because South Sudan is one of also the lagging behind the state in terms of socio-economic. So the main reason we want to invite you here is that this institute is about socio-economic. Make sure it doesn't disturb. Yeah, it is about the socio-economic development institute. Actually, what he was talking about was about the inspiration economy. Inspiration economy is one of the themes that Dr. Buheji has been raising up. Some we have opportunity to go in our library now, after pause maybe. There are many books like this, for instance. This is the book Inspiration Economy. Yeah? There are many books about that, and the books of resilience economy that we have. Resilience is like Ubudahirana that we are teaching in Rwanda, especially Fugitorero. I give many trainings around the country, not yet around the world, but around the country. I train many people about resilience economy, even in the University of Rwanda. We have a program called the module of citizenship and transformative education, whereby we try to teach people the new thinking about development. Yes, because it is needed. What is the role of yourself in a society? How to respect the others in a society? How do we respect others? How do we deal with other citizens? how do we treat other citizens? How do we fight corruption? Starting by being integral person by yourself. Trying to be integral person by yourself. Yeah. And how to respect human rights, children's rights, so on and so forth. When you go to the village, for instance, and you find a child with a lot of and he is 9 years old. You'll be happy. If you go to the village, you find a child, yeah, with 9 years old. 9 years old. You will not be happy. Actually, me myself, I have met with a young child with a heavy equal imizumuam ataje atosha kugenda. That's the fashion, that's the fashion, that's the juju. Namwe ngendo bwire mama wawe aje kwisenyera. So I took the burden over him. I fought them and I told him to go to tell mama to go to fetch to find wood for energy by herself. Seriously, that is my type of person. Fortunately, Yarakumena he was with elder brother. The elder brother had minimum, but it's okay. He took it home. But the child went home without any wood over his head. Another day, I find a child at the average of my child. She was studying at level 3 primary school. Normally 10 years, yes, old. A girl. She was working in what is this? What is this? What is this? Construction. What is this? I don't know, my English is very limited. Ariko Kinyarwanda na matafa? Na matafa. Yeah, na matafa muki Kinyarwanda. And she was working for the rich people. Rich people. The owner of the production is my colleague. He's a doctor from University of Rwanda. The owner. Yeah. But of course, the workers are the local people. You get the point? But a young girl of 10 years old, she was carrying bricks from bricks workshop. Tanura. Kuvami, Tanura. Then ndamubwira ni ikibazo ufite umwana w'umukobwa kugira ngo ujye kuzana amatafari n'abagabo n'abasore bari ahangaha ujye bikura amatafari ati banaje gushaka amafaranga ikaye. She was looking for money to buy notebook for school. Notebook for school. And that is when I decided to start working on socio-economic issues. Well, I studied political science and political economy actually. I studied the governance and development from the University of Antwerp, Belgium, but PhD in Leipzig about political economy, mining sector, regulation. But I started to work on socio-economic issues in Rwanda especially, because it is my society. So we invited you as readers, and I decided to invite mostly top officials in this country, including NGOs. People from NGOs, anyone? Anybody? Okay, okay. From which NGO? Corporate organization. Yeah, and? La Perle. Ah, very nice. So it's nice that you're here with us. So we want to eliminate poverty by using our knowledge. Sometimes we use knowledge, but also we use money also. He has a lot of projects with NGOs, but in which he uses money also to give money so that they can start. So I think we need to think about alleviating poverty. And if we are dormant, those people who are working in this situation, they will grow up in a difficult time. They will not be effective in life if we don't do something. And when we discussed then about the topic, in our last workshop in November, we find that there is a lot of problem of illiteracy in Rwanda. Kutiga, illiteracy. Who can tell me the level of illiteracy in our society? Yeah? Literacy, literacy is 77, right? So illiteracy is 33%. 33% of 12 or 13 million, how many? Calculate, I'm telling you. I forgot the numbers. You can tell me now. That's 3% of 13 population, yeah? How many? How many, brother? Or sister? If I need an answer,
More
please.
than 3.5 million.
Almost 3.5 million not educated person who cannot read nor write. That is a big problem.
Even though much better than the rest of Africa.
Yeah, of course, South Sudan. South Sudan, I think they are less than. But East African Community region is the least educated worldwide. Igice cyose cy'Iburasirazuba cya Afurika y'Iburasirazuba nicyo gice gifite abantu benshi bakize ku isi. Literate in East Africa. It's the least educated region worldwide.
Sub-Saharan.
No, I mean in the Sub-Saharan more, but East Africa much more than any other region. South African.
Yeah, Mauritania is more, for example.
Mauritania, how many?
No, Mauritania maybe more than 70%
illiterate. Mauritania also is very poor. Like Togo, Mauritania, those are countries that are poor. He has been living in Mauritania to help with 12 years. He will tell you about that experience now. Yeah. We have a lot of problem of, for instance, late marriage. In Rwanda, we are now having marriage at 30, 35, which is a big problem. Yeah? Also.
Come again?
Is that the problem?
Yes, if you get married at 30s, 45 or 40s, how long will you educate your child?
It's a